Hey everyone, welcome in for my Druid Tribal Decktech. This is the deck I'm playing in the MTGO Async event on the Discord. It's always been kind of a pet deck of mine, and I wanted to play it more, and this proved a good opportunity. This deck operates fairly similarly to one of the, well, it's not so popular anymore, but formerly most popular archetypes in the format, Cradlehoof. It leans a little bit more creature combo-y, less mid-rangey. You typically don't have the Planeswalker package that Craterhoof has. You don't play as many mid-range creatures, and you're more all in on ramping with creatures, generating mana, and sort of creating pseudo combos or real combos to win the game. So this deck plays, the points are Mox Emerald, Natural Order, Time Walk. We're mostly trying to natural order for Craterhoof Behemoth. If things are going even remotely on plan, Craterhoof should just kill the opponent basically every time. Time Walk is in the deck to facilitate the Seeker Walk combo. We're playing basically the minimum number of slots. Well, not quite, but what I think as basically the minimum number of slots. We just gotta have Ephemerate, Neoform, Spellseeker, Timeless Witness, Time Walk. A few of those cards are just good in the deck anyways, so it's not really a stretch to include it, and it gives us, with all the creature tutors we have, gives us a nice out to just win. This deck is very, very good at generating obscene amounts of mana very quickly. And the big downside to Seeker Walk is that it requires 6 mana to win, and so this deck negates the biggest downside of that combo. Time Walk is also just a really effective card, because one of the other ways this deck likes to win is through Glimpse of Nature turns, and it plays a bunch of the creatures like Beast Whisperer, Chulane, Gilt-Leaf Archdruid, Primordial Sage, Soul Harvest, that all draw a card whenever you cast a creature. And so Time Walk is just a nice tool to have, where if you're going through one of those turns, you can create a really big board, then Time Walk, then attack and win, to sort of pseudo give your creatures haste. This deck isn't playing much in the way of disruption. I added Collector Reef for this event because there's a lot of combo, specifically artifact combo, running around. Intrepid Paleontologist is just in my normal build, but it's sort of in like the Keen-Eyed Curator Scavenging Ooze slot, while still being more on plan than either of those cards. Otherwise, creature ramp deck, looking to win typically with Craterhoof Behemoth or just a ridiculous amount of resources. I hope you enjoy the games. Hope we get some good ones. Getting ready for round 1 of the MTGO Discord Async tournament. I'm playing Druids, as you know, against Dula, well known for playing Enchantress. They're on a Naya build. Lost the die roll. This is not the Collector Oof matchup typically. It's open deck lists. They do have some artifacts, but not a lot. Has like 2 cards that are like sort of dead. I guess I can Neoform Oof into mana. So I can Once Upon a Time, which the odds are this finds us a mana dork. Pretty good chance of finding us a 1 mana dork between a draw step and a Once Upon a Time. That's 6 looks. Then we could go Oof. Beast Whisperer is just a really good card to have, but we have no acceleration. We can turn 3, we can Neoform Oof into a triple mana dork, Somberwald Sage, and then set up Beast Whisper from there. Is that good enough? I'll keep. This one's a borderline one. Kind of reliant on the top of our deck in this Once Upon a Time being good, but they've mulliganed to 5, which also makes just keeping this hand a bit better. I mean, maybe we don't want to neoform this oof anymore. Shutting off a Mox if they're on a mull to 5 might be pretty good. One mana Manador could be amazing. Boreal Druid is not quite what we wanted, but because currently this doesn't let us play our Archdruid on 2, but it's possible we want to go Hedgemaids and Oof anyways, depending on what they do. Yeah, like this could shut them off green, which is potentially quite good. I see. Yeah, I think letting them have green for one more turn is fine. We just want to get our stuff going as fast as possible. I think our hand is good enough that we're likely to be able to kind of go crazy next turn. They ended up having green anyways, so. Well, this oof is going to be real valuable. We're definitely not in the business of neoforming it now. Okay. So we play birds because it's mana neutral. Ooh, maybe I should have played Beast Whisperer first, actually. That was probably a punt. Just Sylvan Scrying for both Seiju here. I think. Feels the safest. I think just taking 2 is fine. If he has Seal of Fire or something, I want to keep my Beast Whisperer. That's what we wanted. Any creature. Just want to chain creatures as much as possible. Another elf is nice. I'm trying to decide if I want to neoform something. 3 drops do I have that are worthwhile? I think most of them are just mana. Ooh, I could get Elvish Harbinger, actually. That might be good enough. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, let's Neoform this one. Oh, wait. Can I just get Spellseeker and win? Not quite. But I can threaten to win next turn. Let's do that. I tapped poorly. If I had tapped better, I definitely could have won this turn. Well, no, I didn't have enough. Oh, yeah, I did. No, I didn't have enough white and blue. But that's okay. Still think we're in a pretty good spot. Essentially, they need a removal spell for our Spellseeker, or we will win. Well, that's kind of annoying. They get some cards. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have attacked with Oof. That explains the weird attack last turn. Should probably be playing the One Ring in this deck, honestly. Just need to not die, and then we're in a good spot. We get to take all the turns. I really just want them to tap as much mana as possible. They don't have a lot of removal spells in their deck. Okay, I think we win. Do they play a land? No, they haven't played a land. So they need land removal spell or they lose. Wait. Yeah, I can do it with Green Sun Zenith. I have enough mana. I was like, oh wait, my Neoform's gone, but I can use Green Sun Zenith to get the Timeless Witness because I have oodles and oodles of mana. Wait, can I just win now anyways? Yeah, I can. Let's just do that. Wait, do I need X to be 10 or more? Creatures I control get. So we won the game several different ways there. We're just gonna go get Crater Hoof, and then our creatures get plus a million attack for like 200. But they were also never getting another turn again. So this is another keep. Once Upon a Time really showing its worth here. Would really like a white source because right now Eladamri's Call is dead. But we can Neoform into it worst case. And or Once Upon a Time into it. Any fetch gets us there. Plus we have a draw step. They're mulliganing to 5 again, which is unlucky to do it twice in a row for sure. These types of... We're playing kind of similar decks when you think about it. They're both like density-based synergy decks that utilize big mana. And these are the types of decks where you really don't want to mulligan unless you have to, just because you need a density of things. There's the white source, which is really nice. I guess we just want this Elvish Archdruid, I think. With the Paradox engine, yeah. And then we have turn 2 Archdruid. Turn 3 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can play a Paradox engine potentially. Have options at that point, but we really need something that draws us cards. Slow start. But I guess they were on a multi-5, so I mean, sort of to be expected. We're just gonna plow on with our game plan and sort of reevaluate when we need to. Next turn we'll definitely have a decision to make at some stage. But we're actually pretty close to Seeker Walk as well. Swords for Archdruid was a good one. Slows us down on the mana front a lot. Now I'd like to draw land. But they really don't have a lot going on. Nice, there's the land we wanted. Let's go Incubation Druid, just get more mana. I probably should have left myself the opportunity to Neoform, but in my head I was just gonna cast Eladamri's Call. Yeah, because I think if we draw land next turn, or next 2 turns actually, I think we can win via Seeker Walk, because we can end step call for Spellseeker. On our turn we can Spellseeker Time Walk. Just getting the 1 ring here. If they're getting the 1 ring, I'm sort of tempted to just call for Oof. Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Okay, well, that's not gonna stop our grand designs of Seeker Walking, I don't think. So they get to resolve Bright Glass Gear Hulk, but then I'm hoping they're not going to get another turn. We don't need... Oh, I feel like I'm not asking for a lot at this point. Yeah, see what they get with this thing. Fast Bond, Static Prison. Okay. Those are powerful magic cards, to be sure. I don't think there's anything better to get than Spellseeker. Worst case, we're getting an extra turn. Land would be amazing. Birds. So I think we're short of doing all the things we want. Let's see. So I could just Spellseeker for Ephemerate and pass. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because almost all their interaction is sorcery speed. They have swords, obviously, but then we can also play the birds to get us the mana we need to go Timeless Witness plus Time Walk. Miscalculated earlier. I forgot I needed to cast Ephemerate and Time Walk in the same turn. They have Fast Bond, but they don't have a lot of cards in hand. They have the enchantment, sure. So they get can get all the lands they want. We just have to hope their non-static prison card doesn't kill us. Oh, maybe. I'm not sure what this gets. They don't have enough mana. Okay. So this lets them go mana and like life neutral. Not certain how they get out of this one. They have static prison. Guess maybe they're trying to find Wasteland if they play Wasteland. Let's see. They do play Wasteland. So if they play Wasteland, they can waste all my lands. Okay, they failed to find on that one. And so every time they fail to find, they lose a life. So they can only do it once more after this. So they need to find Wasteland here. They didn't hit any land ever off Courser. That's pretty unlucky. Okay, yeah, it targets. I will ephemerate in response. We got there. Nice. 1-0 in what's kind of a volatile matchup, but I think generally I'm the sort of trade-off between these decks is my deck is easier to interact with but more explosive. And that's sort of what we saw here. It's like better at comboing. Spellseeker is easier to assemble, especially with the amount of mana this deck produces. And then their trade-off is they're a bit slower but harder to interact with because enchantments are much more difficult to interact with than creatures. Yeah, but good start on our MTGO Async journey, and we'll see you for the next one. All right, welcome in for round 2 of the Druids MTGO Async journey. We're 1-0. We beat Enchantress in the first one, lost another die roll. We're playing against Taffy from the Discord. They're playing Jeskai control. Pretty typical Jeskai control list. I mean, I say that without fully knowing their list, but yeah, they're on Recall, Mystical Fourth. That's the pretty default points setup, I'd say. They are playing Spellseeker. They're playing Quantum Riddler, which is a sweet new card that I thought was going to be pretty good. Decisions on this one. So they kept 7. So things that are good about this hand is we have a couple of difficult to interact with kind of engine / annoying things for them to deal with. The bad things about this hand are there's only 1 land, but I think this is a game, a matchup where we're likely to get a bunch of time. And we have Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor on turn 1, which is probably pretty good. But if they kill my Dryad Arbor, like this Arbor Elf is really the bane of the hand. If this was like Llanowar Elves or even better, like a Noble Hierarch or something, this would be much safer. But currently, like Arbor Elf does not interact favorably with Horizon Canopy. If we draw a forest of any sort, this hand is quite good. I think we have to mulligan. It's just too risky. All right, we'll keep this one. I don't think this is a Glimpse of Nature angle. Island is the one we would prefer they start on, provided they don't tap it to cast Ancestral Recall on our turn. These are functionally the same, but if we draw a blue forest next turn, Arbor Elf is slightly better. Their deck doesn't play Strip Mine, so our forest is safe. Cycle Lurian revealed. Okay, that's acceptable. Acceptable. Bulk the one they got? They got bulk. Killing my elf. Tough but fair. Means they're not counterspelling me at the very least. If I draw a land, I'm tempted to just Sylvan Scrying for Gaia's Cradle. We did not. Alright, well, this is what we got. Bit of a lackluster start from us. Being on the draw is really detrimental in this matchup. You really want to have like an explosive start to get some stuff under their counter magic. Sort of force them to do something. We're just getting hedge maze if this resolves. We're not in the business of Gaia's Cradling currently. As sad as that is for us. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think this is a Dryad Arbor o'clock. The fact that they let that resolve makes me believe they don't have an abundance of interaction, which is nice. If we draw a land next turn, there's a world where we Timeless Witness or Sylvan Scrying to try to get Gaia's Cradle. Weird. I'm very surprised they didn't go get white mana. Huh. So they must have lands in hand, because they have double white spells, but no double red spells. I don't think. They have Wandering Emperor, Terminus, Wrath of the Skies. There's like good cards in this matchup. So they definitely don't have those in hand. Because this could have got the blue-white Surveil land. Unless they have the blue-white Surveil land in their hand. Okay, they have Caracas, that's fine. That doesn't do a ton against us. 4 mana. Aragorn. Tough but fair. Not what we wanted. I think we just got a YOLO this time walk, unfortunately. Never lucky. Well, I think this might have been one of those games we kind of weren't winning almost no matter what we did. It's possible we could have mulled to 5, but I think this hand had enough upside to not mull to 5. Like, if we draw a land at any point in the game, we're in much better shape. So getting roasted by Aragorn. If we don't draw a land or a relevant spell this time, we're... Yeah, alright. I've seen enough. I think at that point we weren't dead, but We're well under 5% to win the game at that point. This hand's pretty good. I shall keep it. They mulliganed. That's definitely what we want to see. This is probably the toughest matchup in our group. Our group is us, the Enchantress player, Jeskai control, and then the last one is kind of like Bant Blink with Nadu combo. And I think we're pretty favored into that one as well. I think they're another creature deck, not much interaction, probably a bit slower than us. So this is the real test for sure. Tender Wild Guide's really good in this matchup if we can sneak it in there. This just makes red. Nykthos is kind of spicy. I am just gonna play this Incubation Druid and pass, and we'll surveil. We'll try to offspring this Wild Guide. Most likely anyways. Works really nicely with our Chord of Calling. Hopefully one of our creatures isn't eaten a bolt here. Uh-oh. Oh, just island cycling. Okay. Once again, we can live with that. Didn't look to see if they're on Stifle or not. No Stifle. But even then, I typically don't play around the Stifle, especially hands like these where like I have a bunch of mana I'm not terribly worried about my fetch getting stifled. Flame Slash that one. Sure. That's kind of nice actually, because that pretty much, short of Spell Snare, means our Wild Guide is resolving. And if they had, no, they couldn't have Spell Snared our Incubation Druid, I guess. Well, once again, it's another one in however many. Harbinger. Yeah, I like you. I am still going to try to Wild Guide next turn, but... Oh yeah. No Spell Snare, no Spell Snare, no Spell Snare, no Spell Snare. Guess they could also force it, but... Oh, they're recalling. I see. Maybe Spell Snare was the least of my worries, apparently. This token's mana cost is 1 and a green. Perfect. Relevant for Nykthos considerations. I think if they do nothing, because I'm untapping with potentially 7 mana. They don't know we don't have a land. We could draw a land. They can't really tap out for anything. That's just like kind of crazy to do. And then we can just start cranking these Wild Guides up. Threaten to Chord of Calling if we want to. But we really want to be able to chord for 4 to get something actually good. One, two, three. Flage. Okay. You hit one of my wild guides. That is fine. So that sort of tells me they just don't have a counterspell, which is pretty nice. Because we could go Harbinger. Harbinger, then Neoform doesn't do what I want it to do. Well, we can do better than that. All right, we're just gonna go Elvish Archdruid. Attack for 2, crank up this wild guide. Now our Nykthos is +1. We still have good cards in our hand. I guess we could have Neoformed Wild Guide into Spellseeker. I need to not forget about Spellseeker. That card's pretty good. So now it looks like they're holding up a counterspell. We can go Life Crafter's Bestiary. But I think I just kind of want to pass. And then try to chord in their end step. Because we have 4 from Nykthos. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we can chord for up to 5. But I think I would just chord for 3 or 4 and then crank the Wild Guide or like leave up Ephemerate or something. Because they're threatening to Flage on their turn. So what we can do to counteract the flagening is chord for Spellseeker, get Ephemerate. And then win. I'm hoping they just think I have nothing. Which almost couldn't be further from the truth. Like our hand is kind of yoked. All right, so they're not taking the bait. Let's go chord for 3. Which I think they're pretty incentivized to counter. Man, like, okay. No, I will not. Okay, Forest was not the worst draw by any means. Let's go Bestiary. Resolve's nice. Harbinger. We will pay. Is there anything better than just Beast Whisperer? Is Guildleaf Archdruid better? I don't think so. You just cost less mana. We also low-key just have 8 power in play now. So they're going to want to have to deal with that sooner or later. They didn't do anything end step. That's nice. If they just flashback Flage and kill our Archdruid, we're still kind of fine with that. We still have 4/7 mana. If they do that, then we can Neoform our Wild Guide into Spellseeker and combo them. Hardcast Terminus? That would suck. Alright, well, what are you gonna do? We get to go Beast Whisperer. I'll drag that down so everybody can see it. Put on top. Pay 2 life, yes. Alright, Life Crafter's Bestiary. It's you versus the world. Unfortunately, the world is about to become Flage, so I don't like our chances. Yep. Oh boy. Well, we're getting Spell Pierced. Another counter. Okay. Yeah, we're just dead. This matchup definitely needs some work. I think we need to retool our deck if we want success in that matchup. We need to hope they lose to to somebody else. Most likely the Enchantress player, but we'll see what happens. All right, 1-1 in the MTGO Async. Tough matchup. Don't think we could have done too much differently. Yeah, we'll catch you for the third and final round of the groups, and fingers crossed we make some sort of top cut from there. All right, here we go for MTGO Async Druids match 3. Completing the 3-for-3 trifecta, losing every die roll. I don't know why we would expect anything else. This hand is great, though, on the upside. Like, double mana dork, creature tutor engine. So our opponent's playing Bant Blink with both Nadu and Seeker Walk. And I think they play a little bit of interaction, but not much. Like, they have like Daze, Stifle, few removal spells, but it's like a handful. We're mostly goldfishing over here, so that's what we're gonna try to do. I have a choice next turn because I could Green Suns for like Raphaelos, and then try to okay. I've seen worse turn 2s. Because then that would give us Raphaelos makes 3, 6, 7 mana on that turn. So I guess it depends. If we draw another cheap creature to cantrip off Beast Whisper, I think I will go for that plan. Ooh. That's also a reason to go for Raphaelos. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wait, I have to do this first because stupid Arbor Elf isn't a mana ability. And there is a world we get dazed here, but such is life. Raphaelos makes more mana than Priest. Yeah, there's just nothing else. Nothing else really worth considering, I don't think. So we could even just slam Regal Force next turn. Yeah. Urza Saga is a powerful card, but this just is not the matchup for it, really. Like, get Shuko, sure. Like, this clock isn't irrelevant, but okay. So we have options. We could go Beast Whisper into Llanowar Tribe, Beast Whisper into Avacyn's Pilgrim with 2 mana, or just play Regal Force. Regal Force obviously gets better the longer we go. They missed a land drop. I think I'm gonna go Beast Whisper into Llanowar Tribe. I think that looks the most appealing to me. The next turn we just get to go absolutely crazy. Hopefully we hit we have a bunch of like ways to go crazy off mana, Intruder Alarm, Paradox Engine, etc. We just have to hope he doesn't naturally have Nadu. Welp. Sometimes your opponent kind of has it all. We just get to F6 here. see what happens. They are short on mana currently. 3 of 6 triggers, 4 of 6 triggers, 5 of 6 triggers. Then they can Cloud Shift Nadu. To get all the triggers again. That seems so silly to me. 3 of 6. 4 of 6. 5 of 6. Because it's Shuko, not. So I have Ether Channeler, Starfield Shepherd. Endurance doesn't do anything to us. Daze is important to know about. Interesting. They could have played Mother of Runes. Anti-causal Vestige is kind of spicy. That one's gone, that one's gone, that one's gone. That one is also gone. Okay. Has Daze, so I guess the easiest way to do that is just to not tap our Arbor Elf. It's kind of unfortunate because we're really incentivized to play a land before casting Regal Force because it gives us more mana with Raphellos. And we have to tap Raphellos to get Regal Force in play. Oh wait, do we? We don't. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Start off with Pilgrim. Once Upon a Time is a good one. Do I cast that? I think so. Kinda whiffed. Are we dead next turn? Probably, right? Just would have so much mana. So I think we kind of need to get lucky, because if we Regal Force, we go down to virtually 1 mana, because Daze, we'd have 8. So I think we still kind of want to cycle these. Wow, we're so lucky. I don't want to say... Oh, wow. Okay. This is... like basically best possible. We're cooking with gas. So we stopped all the Nadu triggers. They don't have a removal spell. Oh, they do. Aether Channeler. That's unfortunate. I'm trying to think if there's something I can get with Archdruid's Charm that's better than just casting this. Oh, wait. How many Druids? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't quite steal all the lands, which would be better. I'm just short on that. Yeah, I think I just got a Regal Force. Chord of Calling, you say? Do I have anything that can fight Nadu? I do. Interesting. So I can go return. Oh wait, untap target creature. Let's just untap this one. Return an elf. We can return this Boreal Druid. Then we go put a 1/1 counter and fight. You get 1 trigger, but your thing is dead. I probably should have played Birchler Rangers first. That actually maybe could have got us enough mana to do the things we wanted, but I didn't pay enough attention. Yeah, like I guess, no, we don't want to attack because we have Chord here. Can definitely discard this forest. We can discard this cavern. We can discard this Elvish Harbinger, this Glimpse of Nature, Soul of the Harvest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fanatic of Ruinous costs 2, worse than the ones that cost 1. All right. Notably, we can also Wirewood Symbiote on their turn as well. So that could give us more mana if we need it. Ugh, that's so annoying. Wait. I think we can Chord for Intrepid Paleontologist here. Okay. But I need to make sure I leave a mana, so I need to leave this Arbor Elf up. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna untap you. We're gonna return Raphellis because this mana doesn't matter. Okay. Then we're gonna cast Chord. Oh wait, no, I need that mana. We're gonna cast Chord, tapping all of these creatures. Intrepid Paleontologist. Eat the Nadu. That's some heads up hockey right there. We still had the Oof in play, but they have the Aether Channeler, so. Yeah, having the Birchler Rangers in play would have made my life so much easier. Should have gone a little bit slower there, but don't want to take too much time. 4 mana. All Fate Stalker. Remove something. Regal Force. Sure. Give that one pro green. Okay. You have it. I will block the other one. All right, that game was kind of tricky, but I actually think we navigated it pretty well. Is there any reason to like, yeah, I mean, I guess we should put things in play first, just in case. Okay. Guildleaf Archdruid. Oh, there's no point in casting this one. Natural Order. We'll sack the Devoted Druid. Wait, where's my Crater Hoof? Oh, awkward. I drew it. That's ridiculous. I didn't notice. What makes me the most mana? Is there anything that... Oh yeah, you probably. Sure, we'll just go this one. Hoof. Go to -92, game 2. All right. Up 1. The matchup went mostly how I thought. It was slightly unfortunate that they just like naturally drew Nadu. But I mean, deal with it and move on. This hand does it all again. We just don't have a cheap mana accelerant. We have all the engines in the world, but yeah, nothing to get us there. This is Cloudstone Curio. This hand is very middling, but I think we're sort of incentivized to keep. Actually, no. This hand doesn't do anything either. Like, Birchlore is kind of whatever if you don't have a creature density. Ephemerate is, like, not really a card. Neoform is, like, kind of a card, and Cloudstone Curio is another engine, but it's only good, like, if you're going off and only with, like, the Elvish Visionary type creatures. So that's, like, 4 kind of blanks. I think we can do better. This hand is definitely better. I'll just have to decide which of these we keep. We're definitely keeping both lands. We're definitely keeping Llanowar Elves. I think we're definitely getting rid of Glimpse. So it's between these 3 creatures. And I think Canaan's better than Birchlore since it is castable. So I think, yeah, Glimpse can go and Birchlore's can go. This hand's actually pretty reasonable. That was a sweet game 1, though. Interesting. Tapped. Witch Enchanter land. This one wants to go get blue, so we go get a Trop. Player Elf. Then next turn we can play Kinnan into Fanatic. Their mana kind of looks awkward, and they did nothing for the first 2 turns, and they kept 7, which is kind of terrifying. But yeah, we're just gonna keep rolling. All right. So next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Philia. Nice, we got a blocker for that one. For at least a couple of turns. Cloud is a good one. This is a Clamp. I assume they're going to attack and blink their Cloud. Go get Shuko. Interesting. So I have the opportunity to trade Kinnan if I want to. I don't think I do. Already had, oh no, yeah, they went and found Clamp. Now they're gonna go get the Shuko probably, or maybe pre-war. Tough to say. Huh. So that's, what did they get? Shuko, okay. So we have 7 mana. We could just pass and rep this Kinnan activation, which might scare them off attacking. Then we can call for Spellseeker and win. We can also call for Spellseeker, get Ephemerate, and then just leave Ephemerate up and win the next turn. I think just passing is better, because unless they win the game, and like passing with Kinnan activation up is kind of a play that makes sense when we don't have a lot of cards in our hand. Yeah, you can draw your cards, that's fine. Even if they remove Kinnan, which is the most threatening thing, we still potentially win the next turn with a land draw. Because we go Spell Seeker. Or no, we're short of blue. That was kind of a reason to do that last turn, I guess. So leaving up a mana. Interesting. This makes me just want to activate our Kinnan. They are attacking. They're blinking Clamp. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's go for it, I guess. Oh, whoops. Let's make the right colors. Well, there are worse hits. We need, if we draw a blue mana here, we win. That is not a blue mana. But can we now just get Craterhoof and win? Let's see. How much mana do we have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we would get to attack with Craterhoof and one other creature. They get +6/+6. That's not enough. Wait. I can generate mana with Intruder Alarm. That's actually pretty smart. Let's do that. Lol. Let's just get this into Regal Force just in case something goes wrong that I didn't think of. Guess I could have made mana, but yeah, I mean, is there a reason to engine? I mean, I guess. All right. Got there on the Mull to 5. Nice. All right. Well, that's the round robin play for the async. I think a pretty good showing generally. We lost the tough matchup and beat the other two matchups. Deck showed some resilience in that last one, winning on a Mull to 5. Nice that we got to see Intruder Alarm play a big part there. That was pretty clutch. Generated a ton of mana. So yeah, hopefully we sneak into a top cut. I don't exactly know how ties are being broken, and there's also 3 groups, so one of the second places will also get in. So we have 2 potential pathways in. We're tied for the lead in our group. I fear that it may be head to head as the tiebreaker. It would make sense to me, and we lose that one, so we may need to get lucky in the intergroup tiebreaker, however that works. So yeah, but I hope you enjoyed the games. Definitely comment down below. I think this deck is sweet and is probably better than most people would give it credit for. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.